Hello. Yeah, it's that time again for another podcast or vlog, whichever one is. Let's say it's a vlog. And I am wearing a finished object. This is the Buccaneer Shawl that I showed you last time. It has been finished and blocked and washed, and I really like it. I think last time I showed it you, I had done up to there, and then I've done pink and the green, and it's now complete, so I can get myself wrapped up in it. I thought when I knitted this that it was going to be like a triangular shawl, and it's actually not. So it's a really interesting shape because it's kind of like, it starts off, oh no, that's the end. It starts off as an arrow. So you've got the arrow shape going up the way. You can see how all of that, wrong way around. You can see how all of the lace pattern has really blocked out nicely, so you can see. And I was saying the last time that it was feather and fan, and it's not. It's old shale. So that's the lace. But I was saying, oh, this is feather and fan, and it's my favourite. Well, it's old shale. Just in case anybody was like going, I don't think that is feather and fan, Mel. I think that you've got that wrong there. So yeah, old shale, but I love it. So you can see how blocking it, I blocked it out, has really opened up the lace pattern. But then as it goes down, you then get this really interesting kind of L shape with the pattern. So at first it looks like it's going to echo the other side, and then you kind of, as you knit, it goes down into like a straight line, and then curves around into like almost like a comma shape at the end. So it's a really interesting shape, and to be honest, I haven't 100% worked out the best way to wear it yet, because I'm kind of doing this and draping it around, which is okay, but yeah, I need to find a good way of actually kind of putting it on myself, but I can mess about with it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And I thought also I might have to get myself a shawl pin to kind of hold it on my shoulder there. But I do have one of these, I think they're Knit Pro stitch holders, which are great. I mean, I've got one of them in my hair just now today to keep my hair off my face, and I could definitely use this as a shawl pin for now. So yeah, it was one of those projects where I'd started it ages ago, and then I don't know, got distracted, and I thought, oh, I think because the first part of the shawl is the biggest part of the shawl, and that took quite a long time, and I think I just kind of lost a bit of steam with it. But once I started on the rest of the shawl, it actually went really, really quickly. And so I got that finished probably a week or so ago, and then obviously then had to wash it and block it. So in the end, it didn't take that much longer to get it finished. But I I do like it, and it's so lovely and soft now as well. Well, it wasn't, not that it wasn't soft before, but it's a lot more drapey now that I've washed and blocked it, and yeah. So, and it's lovely and warm, so it's going to keep me super cozy during the winter. So that's my finished object, and I've got like a 99% finished object. Well, no, I've got a 99% done work in progress. So close. So I'll show you that next. And it is the No Frills sweater by Petite Knits. And so I had done one sleeve and I just had the other sleeve to do. And as you can see, I mean, I've literally, all I've got to do on it is just do the tubular? No. Tubular. Like, not, yeah. I always do that with Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. I always say tubular. Tubular bind off is all I need to do on this. So I'm going to get that finished after I do the podcast today. Vlog. Why do I keep calling it a podcast? After I do the vlog, I'm going to finish this off and then block it, and then hopefully I can have this as a finished object for the next episode. So that's good. I won't say much about that one again because I told you all about the yarn and everything last time. So it's maybe coming up a little bit more pinky in this light. But yeah, it's such a beautiful, subtly colour changing yarn. And I've tried it on and it's gonna fit really well. So it'll be interesting to see, because when I did the swatch for this, I didn't wash the swatch. I know, naughty lady. I just did the swatch. So I don't know how much this is gonna grow, but the way that it fits me, it's got a little bit of ease. So if it grows a little bit more, it's not gonna be a problem. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the yarn changes when I wash it. But like, I've literally just got that bind off to do and then I'm done. So I should be able to get that finished later on today. So that's another one in the pile. And then the other work in progress that I showed you last time that I've done a bit more on is Milo's hat. So this is now, I mean, it's getting pretty big. It's about 8 inches. But I want the turn up to be fairly big on this. So the idea would be that it would turn up, like have quite a substantial turn up for the ears and such. So I think that's gonna, I love that. Yarn is such a good mixture of colours, and that was Fruitful Fusion DK in Forest. And one, I don't know if you can see this, but one interesting thing, so I watch Andrea Mowry's vlog on YouTube called I'll Knit If I Want To, which is a great title. And she just basically answers like questions that viewers write into her, and it's just like, she's just a fountain of knowledge, so it's really good to kind of listen. But my ears pricked up when somebody had asked the question about, so they were saying that when they knit, the stitches don't look the same, they're kind of like uneven. And my ears pricked up because recently I've been looking at my, especially when I'm doing ribbing, like knit one, purl one ribbing, I've been looking and thinking, it looks like the ribbing looks so much neater on the inside of the fabric than it does on the outside of the fabric. And it was driving me crazy because I was like, have I just forgotten how to knit here, or am I doing something wrong, or, you know? I was starting to think it was something that I was doing. Anyway, apparently it's a tension problem. So I don't know if you can see at the bottom here. Yeah, I'll show you on this side. So at the bottom, I really don't know whether you're able to see this, but on one side of the stitch, you can see that one side of it kind of looks more prominent. And then if you look on the inside, it looks neater. Whereas further up here now, it looks a lot more uniform. So, yeah, maybe you can see that now. So like if you compare the bottom, the way that the stitches look at the bottom to the way that the stitches look at the top, the ones at the top look a lot more even. And the way that I fixed that was, so apparently it's a tension problem with the purl stitches. Who knew? And the way to sort that out is to when you're purling, so I'm a thrower rather than a continental knitter. So normally when you're purling, you put your needle in and then you put your yarn over the top and then you pull it through and then that's your purl. So with this one, in order to sort your tension out, you put your needle in as per usual, but you put the yarn, you wrap the yarn from underneath and then pull it through. And what that means is though, because that twists your stitch, so it means that then you just knit all of the purls from then on through the back loop. So, and once I started doing that, I was like, that's amazing. It's like, it's just sorted my tension out overnight. So yeah, I was very grateful that to whoever had asked Andrea Mowry that question on her vlog that time, because it's really has like sorted my knitting tension out for ribbing. So that was great. And then of course you go down like the rabbit hole of, oh well, there's Norwegian purling. So that's something I'm going to look into, because apparently the Norwegian purling also is easier on your hands if you're a thrower, if you're like an English knitter thrower. So yeah, but for now I'm doing my purls with my needle in, the yarn under, and then like through the back loop, and that seems to be sorting my tension problems out. So yeah, so now Milo's hat can look a little bit neater from the get-go. But what's quite good about this, because I'm turning up the bottom of the brim on this hat anyway, then because my tension wasn't great at the bottom, I actually get the neater brim. So it all works, and you know, most other people may not even notice that there's something going on with the tension, but anyway, it makes me feel better that the tension's a bit more uniform throughout the hat. So yeah, so I'm getting there. So I actually need to get Milo to try this on now, because I suspect I don't need to keep knitting it for that much longer, and I can start doing the decreases for the crown. So that'll be good to get that one finished. And oh yeah, and I also wanted to point out the super cute autumnal stitch marker that I'm using from Katie Greenbean. She does beautiful nature inspired stitch markers and notebooks and stickers and badges, and she's an amazing illustrator. She does a lot of illustrations for John Arbon as well. I think she's done the latest illustrations in the annual. So yeah, I'll link her below as well, because she's a really great person for getting cool knitting bits and pieces from, and a really good illustrator. So that's that one. Oh, and that's the Pearl Soho best friend hat. Free pattern. Like Pearl Soho just have so many amazing free patterns on their website. You just go straight to their website and they've got everything. Hats, scarves, cowls, blankets, shawls, just you name it, and they're kind of all free. So they're a really good resource to check out as well. So that's my, I mean, as I said last time, I have more works in progress than that, but I'm not going to show you all of them. These are just the ones that I'm trying to concentrate on and trying to get done in the next wee while. So the next thing I want to show you is another swatch. Now I think in the last episode I've spoken about the sheep camp sweater, and I had done a swatch for that, and I was happy with my colour combo off buying the yarn at the Scottish Yarn Festival. But then Aimee Sher brought out a new sweater pattern, and I was like, oh, that looks super cozy and comfy for winter. And because it's now autumn here in the UK, I was thinking maybe I should put my energy into making a lovely cozy kind of thicker jumper. And so I am going to make the Matthew pullover by Aimee Sher, and you can just see it's got that beautiful cabling detail. And what I liked about it was the cabling detail is just at the top, so it's on the front and on the back, but the rest of it is stockinette stitch. And so I thought it's just enough of a hint of cable to make it feel kind of cozy and wintry without it being too much. So what Aimee's pattern calls for is an unspun fibre, because she spins her own fibre and is really into using that kind of fibre. But I'm trying not to buy lots of new yarn because I have lots of yarn, and so I really should be like stash diving. So I'm trying to stash dive, and this calls for a kind of Aran or worsted weight yarn. And so I had to think about what I had in my stash, and I remembered that I had some Toft Aran wool that I'd originally bought for a pattern that was in Pom Pom magazine, and I'll come back to them later on because there's some sad news about them, but I'll go into that in a bit later. But I'd bought this Toft Aran yarn specifically for a jumper that I'd seen in Pom Pom, and it was this one. It was the Pom Pom Spring Awakening from spring 2016, and it was this jumper, which is just gorgeous. So it's like when I first saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, like I really want to make that. And it called for Toft Aran. And so when I was at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, I don't know what year it would have been, but when I was there, Toft were vending there. And so I went along and got the yarn with all intentions of making that jumper. And then I don't know what put me off. I suspect there's something in the back of mind, because obviously that's from like 2016, so we're going way back. I suspect that I looked at the project in Ravelry, and I seem to remember people saying that the yarn grew, or that the jumper grew, or like it seemed to kind of get a lot bigger than they were expecting and stuff. So I think that kind of put me off. And I think also at the time, because I wasn't knitting jumpers, and that one seemed quite complex, and I think I just basically put myself off knitting it. I was just like, oh, okay, let's leave that one. But obviously I still had the yarn left in my stash. So when I saw that Aimee Sher jumper, I thought, oh, cables could look really nice in that Toft Aran. I'll do a swatch. So I've done another mega swatch because that seems to be my want at the moment. So here we go. This is my, so in the pattern, you knit the jumper from the bottom up, which I haven't done before. I've only ever knitted jumpers from the top down. So this will be interesting as well. So the bottom is in the round. The bottom of the jumper is in the round. So that was me just on doing like a 4.5mm, and then I switched to a 5 because I wasn't getting gauge with the 4.5. So I tried a 5 and that gave me the gauge. But then when you get to the cabling at the top, it's knit in flat. So then I just kind of stopped knitting in the round and knit it in the flat. And this is what I was getting with 5mm needles, and I really like it. And this is just one part of the cable pattern. So you've got seed stitch and then a couple of cables and then one big cable. And then for the ribbing, it says to go down a needle size, so I did a 4. Now it looks like I'm happy with the fabric as it is, but I don't know if this is gonna grow. So I am actually gonna wash this. I am actually gonna wash this swatch and see how much it grows or not, or how much the fabric changes, because I suspect I may have to go down to the 4.5 needles, but we'll see, because I really like that. And if it all works out, then I think that's going to look really good. And that's pretty much, so this is one ball of yarn, and that's pretty much the how the front of the jumper is going to look. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And I think because it just feels lovely and warm and soft and squishy. I suspect this is going to grow once I've washed it, but I'd rather wash it and then see how much it grows rather than knit a whole jumper and then see that all of the cables are out. So yeah, that's another project that will be on the go. Then I'll wash that at the same time as I wash my jumper, and then I can see how that's going to look. So that's exciting. Oh yeah, and it's, yeah, Toft Aran is what I'm using, and it's 100% wool. So that should be super warm and cozy for winter. So what have I got next? Yeah, so I mentioned Pom Pom. So I've been getting Pom Pom for ages. And if you don't know, it's a beautiful magazine that has lots of different so each magazine has a theme, and then you have patterns for that theme every quarter? Yeah, it's quarterly. So I'm just showing you like, so it's beautifully done. So you have all the pictures of the patterns at in the front, and then you have all of the patterns. Oh gosh, look at this. It's a really that's a very young Stephen West there under his beautiful blanket. Oh, and there's I was speaking about Katie Greenbean as well. That's one of her illustrations. So it's just a beautiful oh yeah, look at this, Katie Greenbean. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, and then it has the actual patterns in the back of the book, and they usually have like a recipe in them and whatnot. So anyway, I've been getting these for ages, and the patterns are, it's just, you know, I've put all, because I was looking through my old copies of Pom Pom, and I was like, oh, I want to make that, and oh, I want to make that. So yeah, but the sad news is, get to the point, Mel. The sad news is that they're going to publish their last issue in January, and then there will be no more printed issues. So that's a shame, because they really are beautiful. But they were just saying, like, with the cost of printing and paper and shipping, that it's just not viable anymore for them to keep the business going. So what they are doing is they're encouraging everybody to they've got a 50% sale on their website. So all of their past issues that they still have, well, actually they have them digitally as well. So all of the past issues are 50%. And then also the some of the pattern books that they publish as well. So Joji Locatelli and Vera Valimaki, they have is it Interpretations? Yes. So they together they do a pattern book called Interpretations, and Pom Pom also published that. So they've got the issues of Interpretations. They have the Shetland, the Shetland Trader. Yes. So there are publications that they have published on behalf of other people, as well as their own. So all of that is 50% off on their website. And they're also encouraging people to buy the very last issue, which is coming up in January 24. So yeah, if you have enjoyed Pom Pom in the past, then I would encourage you, or maybe you haven't heard of them before, I would encourage you to have a look at their website. I'll put the links below, because I'm a new channel. YouTube won't let me do like actual HTML links yet, but as soon as I can do like actual, you know, click on this link and it'll take you to the website, I'll start doing that on the channel. But just in case you're wondering, because I've just been having to write the links underneath in the description box. But anyway, I'll put all of the information in the description box anyway. But yeah, check Pom Pom out, because it's really sad. I mean, I read their FAQs, and they did say that they would keep the website going, and it looks like they'll still be selling like back issues, and they may just go to digital. But yeah, the print, and they absolutely won't be doing any new issues of the magazine. So it was just to kind of flag that up, because yeah, it's sad, and they put so much effort into each publication, and the photography is always beautiful, and the styling, and yeah. This was one, I always remember this one because it's so beautiful. It's called Emery, and it's just a little kind of like a little scarf, and I did actually, that's it there. And that was one, that was from, yeah, that was from summer 2014. And I did actually make that one. So I made it in this beautiful, another Eden Cottage. Oh, see, now you can, rookie error. Can you see how that isn't just the light? This side is a lot darker than this side. And that was, that's a total rookie error, but nobody actually notices when you've got it on. Oh, I've got like doubling up on the scarves. How many scarves can one person wear? Yeah, you can't actually see it when I'm wearing it, but that's because the yarn is from Eden Cottage Yarns, and they are an independent hand dyer. Getting my earrings caught in them. And you're meant to alternate skeins from hand dyed yarn, because you can't always guarantee that the colour's going to be the same. And clearly I didn't do that. But you can't tell, you can't actually tell when I'm wearing it. So so yeah, that was the emery. And again, like this yarn is another one where like it looks green on the camera, but then in certain lights it looks grey. So sometimes it looks grey, sometimes it looks green. I love this one as well. It's got a kind of lace pattern in that one's on, so that's a good one. But that was my, see, the thing with I think the thing for me with Pom Pom is it looks beautiful, the patterns are beautiful, but I think I've always been slightly intimidated by the patterns as well, because, you know, like that rhomboid one that I showed you, I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But then I kind of chickened out of making it. So I think now I need to, you know, I can go back and have a look, and because they're just, oh my god, I mean, I just look at that, it's just stunning. I think that's in La Bien-Aimée. I think that's her Yellow Brick Road, the very famous La Bien-Aimée Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, check them out, support them if you can. So there we go. So now I have all of the, this is what else can I put on? I haven't got anything else to put on, but I do have one last thing to show you, and I'm getting excited because the knitting and stitching show is going to be on in Harrogate in mid-November, and I've just got, I got my ticket, and I ordered a like a vendor, well, a show guide. Names on the booklet, Mel. Names on the booklet. Show guide. And this just came in today, so I have been busy highlighting what I want to go and see, and marking off where the stalls are on the yeah, I am that person who likes to have a map, so I know where I'm going, and I know. And the thing with this is, so my main reason for going to the knitting and stitching show, because I normally don't really like massive events. I get a bit of social anxiety, and I get very overwhelmed and like, oh my god, there's too much going on, and too much noise, and too many people, and da 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 da. Anyway, so Edinburgh Yarn Festival is probably the biggest yarn festival that I had been to, and I've only ever been to yarn festivals and not fabric or, you know, stitching, sewing festivals, because I've only really just got back into sewing. And that, so my main reason for going to the knitting and stitching show was so that I could have a really good look at fabric in real life. Because up until now, I've been ordering all of my fabric online, and going by like videos that they have on their website, or information, you know, about thickness or about weight and all of that kind of thing. So I've been buying all of it online, and I thought if I can go to the knitting and stitching show, then I can actually see fabric in real life and touch it and feel it, and, you know, get a better sense for, I think I've got a good sense for like the I've been buying viscose and linen and cotton and those things. So I know, I feel fairly okay with those, but it's more the knitted fabrics, kind of like Ponte and French terry and those kind of things. I want to get a better sense of how they feel, and the thicknesses and that kind of thing. So my main aim at the knitting and stitching show is to do a bit of recon for kind of fabric, and maybe like take some video, and just so I can remind myself of what different fabric kind of feels like and looks like. But then I looked through the guides today, and there's loads of yarn, and there's even Iolaire yarns, which is from East Lothian, just well, like up the road from me, are going to be there. And they're the ones who I bought that beautiful, I do actually have it here, I bought the beautiful skein from the last time. Oh, look at that. So yeah, I shouldn't really be buying any more yarn, although I had an idea today that I wanted to make the Douglas cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and you need, because it's a striped one, you only need one skein of about 3 or 4 different colours. So I thought, oh, what I could do is at the knitting and stitching show, I could maybe buy like 3 or 4 different skeins of DK yarn from different vendors, and make a kind of like festival cardigan, like, you know, knitting event cardigan out of the different skeins. So it would be from yarn vendors who I haven't bought from before, or who who are new to me. So that idea did pop into my head today. Not that I don't need any more things to knit, right? but a cardigan would be good. So anyway, who knows? So I don't really need to buy any more yarn. I don't really need to buy any more fabric. What I would like to get are some really nice snips, like some really nice scissors. I've got dressmaking scissors, so not the big shears. I've got the shears, but kind of like the smaller all-purpose scissors, but ones that can cut fabric. And so I want to get some of those. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to make a list before I go, because I don't want to get in there and then just be like, I want to buy all the things. So yeah, it's a bit more planning to do, but there will be I'll do a separate thing about that when I go. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's actually quite a long one, isn't it? Gosh, sorry, I've been rabbiting on for ages. But there we are. I'm nice and warm now in all of the knits. And yeah, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you again soon.